I do branding projects from large scale to small scale. Here's one I just did. This is the School for Sacred Storytelling. I met this author and teacher, and she had a website. It just was really, it looked like something from 1990. And she was having trouble attracting new students because it didn't look modern or fresh. So I did a new logo for her, and we built out the school so you can learn all about the school, the teachers, the monthly membership, the coaching program, and the 10-month certification program that's even more involved for professionals. And then she has some self-paced online courses, and then she also has events she does regularly. So I just built the whole thing out for her. I worked with her for 3 months, just shaping this whole thing, building out a funnel so people put in their email, get a free class, and get a taste of what she does. I built out her monthly membership page, all the courses and the coaching, and helped her explain the experience. And our next step is she has these 60 different teachers. They're all going to be offered as coaches or mentors for your own creative projects. The next step is making all of these clickable. It's a huge piece. Storytelling, helping explain her student success and helping her understand what consumers need to hear and see to get interested to buy this stuff. And then her big 10-month program, Alchemy of Story, I
The
built an
Alchemy of
entire
Story
video
is a
for it.
journey unlike any you've ever taken before. This is a journey for brave souls who understand how to bring more healing to the earth. And the way that it starts is in our consciousness. Once upon a time, there were a group of people that came to this planet because they wanted to bring healing to the universe. And they knew that humans could do something that a soul without a body could not do. They could actually alchemize.
So I took her to the mountains and I said, all right, let's brainstorm how we're going to explain your course to people. We came up with this whole script and then sent the initial video to some people, and there was a piece missing. She had given a talk about this stuff. I took that talk and adjusted the audio to make it fit with the video.
It's very nonlinear. It's not about giving the exact specific structure of what to do and how to do it. And it's really about giving people the tools and the skills to expand their consciousness, explore their creativity, and learn how to trust their intuition.
The video is cool. It gets you into it, helps you understand the whole process. And this program, it's sort of like it's like 10 years of therapy in 10 months. You learn about your stories, what's holding you back, and helps you rewrite your story and get out of the matrix you have created for yourself. It's pretty fascinating work. So she has a professional path for therapists, coaches, and psychedelic integration specialists. If you click on this, it takes you to the certification page where you can register for the full program. You can read about each of the 5-6 week intensives.
Welcome to Essence. This course is going to bring you on a journey where you will.
So I did all the video, did all the storytelling stuff, and helped her structure this whole thing.
Including the courses and like the all of the, like how she organized the content and whatnot, or did she already have that
No,
already?
no. She had the courses and she'd been doing it before, but it was never this clear. Now she has better tools to engage people. She did incredibly well during COVID because everyone was home and looking for something to do. But after COVID, everything dried up. So we just modernized everything and made it much more clear. And now people are coming in.
It looks awesome. It does a really good job of breaking down and describing abstract concepts that might be ambiguous or hard to conceptualize for a lot of people. So I mean, that's all, you're just speaking my language, so I get it. It's so very easy to understand and laid out very beautifully.
Yeah. And then we did that same process for every course. And here's our monthly membership.
Welcome to the monthly membership. This is for people who really want to get into relationship with their true nature, with the cycles of the moon. And so what we will do is we meet 3 times each month We meet on the new moon to experience an oracle story. This is where I do the soul stories, but for the constellation of that time, meaning that we're looking at what is the theme of that new moon. And it's a time to set your intentions according to what you want to experience in the life of your story that month. It's also a place where we get to really deeply explore what's in our consciousness and how the stories of our time are living through us. Then on the full moon, we meet again, and the story is all about you. And
so anyway, this is an example of a full build out a whole program. This is an example of what I could do for them. Let me show you some other stuff too. So this was a woman. She's super talented, super successful. She needed a way to explain all the different things she does. I was like, hey, why don't we just make you this goddess of creation? People can click on your magic hands and different superpowers shoot out of your hands, and they show what you do, and then they can see all the bits and pieces you put together.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
So she did all this work for Disney.
You really work with some definite creatives.
This is her other company where she puts outfits and
Oh my
dance
God,
moves together
the
for big parties.
performer.
She has a whole army of these performer. Then there's stuff like I did this cheese product. This was a deep dive into brand strategy for putting this brand together. This one had almost a year timeline and a big research component. And then we got to this endpoint where the product is now in Walmart and on Amazon and selling in hundreds of stores. And, we have a whole movement, the grass movement. So it's all about taking care of cows.
Oh, I love this. I like the video aspect of it.
Yeah, thanks. It was fun shooting all this stuff.
Oh, you shot this too? Cool.
Yeah, I went down to Bolivia. I had a shooter also, but I was doing all the drone stuff and telling him what I needed. So this is ReSeed. So ReSeed basically takes land that's being managed in the Amazon. So basically what's happening right now is a lot of farmers in the Amazon are just selling their property and then moving to the city and then going into poverty. And the people they're selling the land to burn everything down and put in a soy plantation or whatever. So you can see in this picture, the guy from ReSeed explaining the ReSeed initiative. All these farmers are raising their hands saying, okay, we're going to stay on our land. We're not going to sell our land. By committing to stay on their land, that creates a carbon credit. So ReSeed takes that commitment and takes that, there's all kinds of things they have to do. Like they have to get iPads and track what's growing and not growing. They create this whole data set that becomes a carbon credit. And once it's a carbon credit, these farmers that are making maybe $10,000 a year, now they're making $20,000 a year because ReSeed will pay them $10,000 to stay on their land, keep it alive, and working to clean carbon out of the atmosphere.
So how do they, I guess I don't understand that carbon credit. I guess it's almost like this.
That's a whole like financial.
And it sounds like Bitcoin, it's like this made up thing basically.
Yeah. I mean, that's what carbon credits are. One of the carbon credits that's out there right now, it's a filter. You put it on the smokestack of your coal power plant and it releases less carbon in the atmosphere, and then you get a carbon credit for putting that there. But that's such a bullshit carbon credit because you're just putting less carbon out there and we're incentivizing these coal things to keep pumping out more smoke. This carbon credit is going directly to farmers who are pulling carbon out of the atmosphere and putting it into the ground and sequestering it. I wanted to show you this. This is the big data dump for how we got to ReSeed's logo. I got really inspired by these little nostrils that are on the bottom of the leaves of plants. I was like, okay, that's interesting. There's a little thing that grabs carbon out of the air. So there's carbon. And then here's the logo, right? So this thing's cool because it looks almost like a map pin, because a lot of the way the ReSeed protocol works is there's a map pin all over your farm that shows what's happening where. But then also it's very uplifting for farmers. So the logo is a farmer with his hands up to the sky, being like, yes, this is awesome. But then also it's a plant stomata actually eating a piece of carbon.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Multi-layered. I love it.
We did a whole bunch of options. Like originally it was like, okay, how do we show carbon going into the soil? This ended up becoming a t-shirt. We had so many explorations for this. Again, this client, they're like a major collaborator of mine. I've done so many
Okay.
projects with these guys. So I did like such a big exploration with them.
There's a lot here. You came up with a ton. I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, my silly little half rainbow seems so elementary, so juvenile. But it's something to work with. It's a starting point.
The name of my company is Clarity Decoded, and I help people express what they're doing with clarity. A lot of amazing stuff, like transformative stuff, whether it's a coach selling a course or a food company selling a new kind of snack, a notion, there's a vision, and then there's a big gap between that and the sellable, clear product. So I bridge that gap with people. So I'm starting to do YouTube videos, making videos of walking people through projects so more people can learn about what I'm doing.